Ja hoor. Of zit er nog genoeg wissel? Gaat het met jou? Ja, wat zal het zijn? Ja, zie je wel. Ik dacht het wel. It's not always look like this though. Yeah. So this is in the ground. So yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. So do we know where we are yet? Wedding location where Jamie and Sam get Jamie and Sam. God, I say this every day and I get it wrong. Sorry.
Your heart is filled,
Claire
huh?
and Jamie get married. So yeah. But so what I'll do is I'm just going to remind you probably all can't see this, but I'll just remind you of Claire's wedding dress. Yeah. Now, I worked on the film set with them for the 3 weeks that they were here, so I got to see all the costumes. They kept them all in the house, so we were allowed to look at them. And the dress was very, very beautiful. There was a lot to it. It was very, very heavy, and it was really, really tight around her waist. It said that she said that it was one of the most uncomfortable dresses she's had to wear because it was so tight around her waist. Now it was made of linen, but it also had a metallic thread woven through it, and it was made in America, and it was handmade, and there was only one. There was no spare, and it's all hand embroidered, and this is a metallic thread. And it's supposed to be like an oak tree, so these are the acorns and the leaves, and it's in the autumn time, so the leaves are falling and gathering at the bottom.
Okay.
Now it took her about an hour and a half to put on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a little black dress that she could just throw on. But this is why it took so long. There was many, many layers to it. So first of all she would put on the cage, and then she would put on the underskirt, and then she would put on a corset, and they would pull that really tight. And then she would put on the bum roll, which gave her, those fabulous hips. And then she would put on the overskirt, and then the main dress itself. And it was quite a robust dress, but the arm sleeves were really, really delicate. So, it was quite a cold day, but it was sunny day. Well, the week that we were here, it was quite sunny. But these are very delicate, so she couldn't sort of move around too exuberantly with it on. Now, because it was so heavy and really, really tight, you have to be able to breathe when you walk up this hill. Now, she couldn't walk up the hill in the dress because it was just too much. So from the house up to here, they had this very snazzy golf buggy made for her. It's not very glamorous, but it served the purpose of her. She could only stand up. She couldn't sit down in it, so she had to stand and just hold on really, really tight. Yeah, so it was just, it served the purpose of getting her up here and back down again. Now, when they came here, it was supposed to be a very rundown and poor church. Now, we renovated this place about 18 years ago, so it lay as a ruin for about 150 years. The roof had been destroyed in a fire, so there was no roof on it and there was no windows or doors. So we've made it quite pretty. But they needed it to be very run down, no money, drafty windows to go in with the story of Dougal being able to persuade the priest to marry Claire and Jamie by giving them new windows. So they had a lot of work to do, and that's why they were here for such a long time, for the 10 or 15 minutes of footage that they had. So what they did was they covered up all this gravel with wood chipping, and we'll walk down a wee bit. They did a lot of filming down here, so Claire, she walks down here to greet Jamie as he comes out of the church, and she takes off her cloak. And I don't know if you remember this bit, it's quite well described in the books. She takes her cloak off and the sun shines upon her. Now for that, down there's a pathway. They had a big crane and it came up and over, and on that they had lights and cameras and a shield to block out the sun, and that was only for those nanoseconds of Claire taking her cloak off and the sun shining upon her. I mean, it's incredible, just for those few seconds of footage. But they also, because they were filming here, they also added more headstones into this area here. And they look just like the real things. They look like they've been here for, hundreds of years, but they were just made of styrofoam. So, you'd be up here and there'd be a man sort of walking around with a mix under his arm. And there's no way you'd be able to carry one of these, but it was incredible. You'd be like, oh yeah, it's just a pretend one. But it's amazing what the props department can do just for things that are just lying around in the background. So they also removed all the windows and doors. So they had them all sort of boarded up like just rickety old windows and doors. And then anything that was painted that couldn't be removed, so like the downpipes and drain pipes, they covered up with dead foliage. And then some of the other windows were like this. So there were broken lattice windows. And again, it was to go along with the storyline of having very drafty windows. You can have a look through this later if you want. So what we'll do is we'll head in, we'll have a wee look. The church itself dates back to the early 1600s. But as I said, it has a brand new roof on it. So maybe it's like a little bit different.
No. Claire, local and